Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream. Live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin, we'll talk about the news, we'll talk about altcoins. Gonna move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can't answer everything here live and hopefully troubleshoot some of your problems. So welcome. So we're going to talk a little bit about the crypto market tonight. It has been influenced by geopolitical events again, I believe, as everything has. So we'll see, and some government data pushed it up a little bit yesterday on Friday. So we'll talk about that. I want to talk about scams again. There's some scam stuff in the news about the number of people that were tricked or cheated or hacked, if you will, out of their crypto. A lot of people think of it in terms of hackers sitting behind computers, somehow sucking crypto out of their wallets. But that is a misconception. Most people lose crypto by being tricked into revealing their seed phrase or being tricked into authorizing transactions in their wallets. So they'll be tricked into connecting their wallet to a malicious website and then authorizing basically the draining of their wallet by the scammers. So it's more about personal security and safety than it is about worrying about people hacking into your wallet. So we're going to talk about that tonight. I've got some great stuff, some subject things I want to talk about. I've got a rant about Ledger I wanted to talk about. I'm going to talk a little bit about Stamp Seed, a great little company that allows you to stamp your seed phrase onto a platinum plate. I really think this is a great solution. Also, I had a session with Trezor Expert this week. That is, I believe the retail cost is $99. And it's well worth the price. I think they run specials occasionally where it's $79. And it is a live one-on-one tech support session from an expert at the Trezor company to walk you through setting up your wallet. I don't know that they do any additional type of tech support, but this session is well worth it. They gave me one for free, and I was very impressed, so I'm going to talk about that. Let's go over and greet everybody that's here tonight. I want to thank everyone that's here. Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia, good to have you. Andreas Ebert is here again. Kenny is here, late for the party, which for Kenny means 90 minutes early. Kenton Asher, good to have you. Just for Fun is here, wonderful. Mark is asking about Paul on Coinbase, and I went over to Coinbase. They support Paul, but they still support Madic. People are slow to change, but if you want to, I don't know that you can trade it as Paul. Let me see. I've looked for Paul as a trading pair, could not find it, but I did Madic, and they have it as trading pairs still as Madic. Also, I've noticed that Ledger Live now calls it POL if it's in your Polygon account. If you set up a Polygon account and you're storing Paul token in there, it is called Paul, POL, or Poly, or however you want to think about it. So slowly but surely, but I really wouldn't worry too much about this because it's the main thing is it's just a naming convention. And like I said, you can still buy Madic on Coinbase as Madic, but it will be Paul. I don't think you really need to worry about that. But I did want to kind of give you an update of where Coinbase stands. As far as I know, they now support both tokens. So if you do a receive crypto and type in Paul, they will allow you to deposit and withdraw Paul. And I'm pretty sure it ends up as Joker's Wild and can be traded as Madic for whatever you want to trade it for. And if you want to buy more, you can buy Madic. And then if you want to withdraw it as Paul, you can. I haven't tried it yet. I'm not really that concerned about Madic or Paul. I've kind of been out of it for a while, but as a service, maybe I'll give it a shot at some point in a video. Probably not tonight. I don't have things lined up. So where were we? We were greeting everybody. Good to have everyone here tonight. Bobby, Chris Klein, Simona, Sawachi from Winnipeg, Michael Gannon. I feel okay about XRP. I remember when it was worth $1 back in 2017, and now it's only worth 60, if even that. Maybe it might be down to 50. It has kind of a cult following, but I'm not a huge advocate of it. I don't really do coin evaluations, but you might goad me into making snide comments about coins if you're lucky. Chrisus from Chicago, Christopher Thane, all of you have been here before, I believe. Another man's point of view. I like that. Ampov is here. Happy Saturday to you. Greg Whelan from across the pond. L. Issa Scott M. from Oz. And Dan Wester has joined. Dan is one of our moderators. Good to have you here again tonight, Dan. And P. Wizzle from Kinsey. I hope I said that right. And if you've never been in the live stream, check out the description down below. If you don't see everything in the description, click the show more link and it'll like reveal the entire description section to you. We'll talk a little bit about whether it's Uptober or whether it's Selltober or October, or however you want to think about it, right? And like I said, I want to talk about, is this a scam? I see this post on Reddit all the time in the Ledger group. Is this a scam? Look, if you think it's a scam, it most likely is. We'll talk a little bit about that. Let's see, and I've got agenda, some stuff I want to do. My latest video is still the SUI token or SUI token, where I show you how to set up the third-party wallet and secure it with your Ledger device. Someone made a snide comment about ledgers, and so I'm going to do a rant on Ledger in a bit. And Stampseed. I did that video a week or so ago. We'll talk a little bit about Stampseed, a really cool solution for storing your seed phrase. So everyone's here. Oh, we hit 170,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for pointing that out, Dan. That's really cool. Another milestone set. Feels good. Yeah, so let's, should we do the news first? Let's talk a little quickly about Stampseed. Let's see here. I think I got this one set up. Yeah, I think all the cameras and the mics and everything should be working. I hope I'm not making thumping noises. I noticed that when I rewatch my videos that sometimes there's a little bit of a thump, so I think I need to maintain my distance from the mic a little bit. It's a pretty good sensitive mic. I've got the Trezor Safe 5 over here, but I wanted to kind of go through the Stampseed with you guys again. Now, they were kind enough to send me the entire set, but this little setup here is the basic set, right? You get all these little tools, and each tool has a letter or a digit, and when you pull them out, you can see what letter they are. That one's kind of ambiguous. That's the 0. Let's look at letter A. Right, so you've got the letter A here. Whoopity boo, cool stuff. And then you can see on the front the letter, and then you've got that little marker to line it up with your jib. I think it's called a jib, J-I-B. That's this little guy here. And then I have one that I stamped out. I did a pretty decent job on it, but as you can see, when you line it into the jib, you've got all these little guides that help you line it up correctly, and the lines along the jib down there help you line up the tool so that your word comes out pretty good. That's not a very good example. Yeah, I think I did a better job on that line there. But yeah, so, also, if you order the entire kit, you'll get, they'll send you an anvil, which is pretty cool. And then also you get this really awesome, try not to get too cluttered here. You get this really awesome hammer with this brass head, which is, as you can see, I've made some marks on it because I did one. But this thing is really bottom heavy. It's really good, very ergonomic, really easy to use. So yeah, I mean, check out Stampseed. As I mentioned earlier, the most, the 95%, maybe, I don't know what the percentages are, but the majority of people that get tricked out of their crypto are tricked into revealing their seed phrase. The seed phrase is the most important part of your wallet, bar none. You know, there's lots of different wallets out on the market, soft wallets, software-based wallets, foam-based wallets, hot wallets, and then you have the cold wallets that hold your private key offline, and there's many different brands of hardware wallets, but they all boil down to this seed phrase. Keep this seed phrase safe and secure, and your crypto will remain safe and secure. Your hardware device can break, get lost, get stolen, all that stuff. But as long as you have this seed phrase, you can restore your wallets. I know that sounds crazy. How do all these letters keep track of all your crypto? Well, these words are a human readable representation of your master private key, which is generated when you set up your wallet randomly for the very first time. And that master private key will generate all of the sub wallets. So it'll generate your Bitcoin wallet. It'll generate your Ethereum wallet. It'll generate your XRP wallet. If your device gets damaged, lost, or stolen, get a new device and then do a restore using these words. And once you have done that, that new device has now been configured with that same master private key that you had from the beginning. And then all you have to do is regenerate all those wallets and they will be there, right? It's all math. And the crypto is not stored on the device or on the seed phrase, only the key, right? So if you have balances in those wallets and you do the restore, it'll simply point to your existing accounts. So you'll regain access to your crypto. I know it's a bit complicated, but seed phrase is tantamount. And what I really love about Stampseed is you can do the entire word, so it makes sense to you. Most of these other metal type solutions use some kind of tiles that have letters on them. You could accidentally smash those and the tiles would fly everywhere. Or they've got some kind of number code thing where you look up your words in a table and you know, record the numbers on the steel, or they only give you space for 4 letters because only the 4 letters really matter, but the human being needs to see the entire word. It makes sense. I just feel that this is a great solution, and this thing is durable, waterproof, fireproof, all that good stuff. I'm not like making a mint by promoting this product, really. It's just a small little company, but I think it's really a great product. I get approached by lots of different companies. A lot of them are scams, but I only choose companies that make sense for my channel, right? I don't promote sneakers or energy drinks or anything. Everything that I promote directly relates to crypto security. I review hardware wallets and seed phrase storage solutions, right? We'll talk about the Trezor Safe 5 in a little bit. Let's get into the news. Once again, I want to thank everybody for being here. Let's jump into the news here. Uptober mentions on social media plummet amid crypto rout. Well, the crypto rout started on, I believe, Tuesday when Iran launched a series of ballistic missiles at Israel, and everyone was worried that World War III was about to break out. And the crypto market, along with the rest of the markets in the world, took a sharp dip. And then after a few days, when we all realized that World War III was not about to start, at least not today or tomorrow, it could still start, people kind of crawled out of their little caves and said, let's get on with our lives, and started trading again. And Friday, we had some decent economic news, jobs report, and so there was a nice little bump in the crypto market. And we're currently right around 62. We were at 66 a couple weeks ago, and I forget what we were talking about last week. I think we were talking about 70K in view, right? Last week. I think we were around 65,000, 66,000 for Bitcoin. So we're down, but we're not down for the count, right? We're just down, not much for Bitcoin, really. So that's the story. This is just kind of, you go through and look at all the social media posts about Uptober, and the word Uptober was being mentioned quite a bit early in the month last week, and then now not so much, right? It's kind of interesting metric. There's all kinds of metrics we could talk about. I didn't want to pass up the opportunity to speak about the HBO special coming up, the documentary on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been bashed by mainstream for a while, just basically pummeled in 2017, 18, 19, even beyond that, bashing Bitcoin. But I don't know how Bitcoin will be portrayed on this particular documentary. It's supposed to be released on October 8th, so just a few more days. But in the preview of this documentary, they're claiming that they're going to be revealing who Satoshi is. But I can pretty much bet that they're not going to give us a definitive answer as to who Satoshi Nakamoto is. For those of you who are not familiar, Satoshi Nakamoto is the anonymous creator of Bitcoin. So there's been a lot of speculation of who he actually is. It's still kind of a mystery. Craig Wright claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto and lost his court case. And so the speculation still abounds. And this article here is about a gentleman named Les Sassman, who was involved in Bitcoin in the early days, worked with Hal Finney on some projects, did some early work with a company of his, was instrumental in Pretty Good Privacy, which is an encryption program that allows anyone to download encryption software. The government hated that. They wanted to outlaw people being able to encrypt their own communication. They lost, because it was already open source. The guy's been involved in a lot of things. He has a tribute to him etched into the Bitcoin blockchain when he passed away back in 2011. This was quite a while ago. Sadly, he committed suicide, suffered from depression. But this is not we don't know what the documentary is going to reveal. So the only reason we're talking about Les is because he is the top pick on the Polymarket betting site, right? So we have Les Sassman is yes for being Satoshi Nakamoto, with 44.5%. Hal Finney being behind him, Adam Back, Nick Szabo, and Paul LaRue. One of the main reasons this is such a big deal is because the wallet controlled by Satoshi Nakamoto has a lot of Bitcoin in it. And if one person did, in fact, control this wallet, they would, I believe, by all estimates, be the richest person in the world. I know they talked about that a little bit in here, but of course I'm not going to be able to find it live. But so it's important. And but Sal's wife says no, he's not. She tweeted that he is not Satoshi Nakamoto. Yeah. Let's see. Where did they talk about? Did they talk about that here? Let me see. Creator of Bitcoin. Blah blah blah. This guy, this filmmaker did another documentary on QAnon. So that's why he's famous. Yeah, they don't mention that wallet, but that's the one we're reading right now. Yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of Bitcoin in that wallet. Like, I don't know, 1,000, 100, a lot of Bitcoin, million Bitcoin, a lot. Yeah, so we don't know. As far as I know, no one has moved anything out of that wallet. We don't know if Satoshi simply stepped back or that he passed away. But as far as I know, the wallet is dormant. If it were still active, there'd be a lot more speculation. So we don't know. But an interesting thing, check out that documentary on HBO when it comes out in a couple of days. Should be interesting. Crypto phishing scams, right? I told you I was going to talk about scams tonight. Drained 46 million in September alone. Over 127 million was stolen in Q3 2024 due to phishing attacks, with September alone seeing losses of 46 million. Generally, people are getting emails or texts with some kind of deception, claiming that they need to follow the link to retrieve Bitcoin or win Bitcoin or get rich quick, or they're about to lose everything. So there's a lot of scams. And then in many cases, what the user will be asked to do is connect his wallet to some kind of service. Now, this is how we do DeFi. We connect our wallets to Uniswap or PancakeSwap or 1inch, or, there's lots of decentralized exchanges out there where we connect our wallets and we can make trades and transfers and do all kinds of good stuff. But there are malicious websites where you can click an authorization in your wallet, which will basically grant access to the full balance of the wallet. And that is where scammers come in. They like to trick people into connecting to their malicious websites and then stealing all of their crypto. But this is not a failure of the wallet, right? The wallet is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's the end user who is authorizing transactions that they're not aware of, or that they should know better, or they should, check to see that they're on some kind of crazy scam site, right? So, but it's a real problem. It's been happening a lot. So I wanted to talk a little bit about scams. Also, I wanted to bring this up. Kenny sent me some news stories. I don't know if this was yesterday or today. The IMF has been pressuring El Salvador to overhaul their Bitcoin regulations. International Monetary Fund, the powers that be in the financial world worldwide, pretty much controlled by the West. But they don't like the fact that El Salvador has been, legalized Bitcoin as, their official legal tender, one of them. And they keep suggesting that they change their regulations to accommodate the IMF a little more, right? IMF hates Bitcoin. Powers that be hate Bitcoin. They might want to profit off it like BlackRock with their exchange-traded funds, but at its core, at its essence, at its most decentralized, the powers that be really hate Bitcoin. It is an outside competitor to the centralized financial system. So they really hate it, right? And interesting that I wanted to bring this up. This is a little bit of a rant for me. But at one point in here, here we go. More recently, IMF executives floated the idea of taxing energy. Get it? Taxing energy used for energy used for crypto mining to reduce carbon emissions. This added tax could drive up energy costs for miners by 85%, a potentially devastating blow for an industry already struggling with post-halving economics and increased mining difficulty. So here we have the old trope, which was it wasn't, they didn't, originally, they bashed Bitcoin by calling it worthless. They bashed Bitcoin by calling it only used by criminals, that sort of thing. And as it became more popular and those narratives failed, basically, they came up with a new narrative back in 2020 or 2021. They started claiming that Bitcoin was not green. Bitcoin was bad for the environment. And so, hence, they started proposing all of these, taxes on Bitcoin's energy use. Well, really, Bitcoin is no less green than any other technology that needs power. Bitcoin uses electricity. Yes. So does everything else, right? So what's the big deal with Bitcoin using energy? Well, they don't like Bitcoin. So they point out that, hey, it uses a lot of energy. It's bad for the environment. It's not green. Well, now their hypocrisy is really being laid bare for those of us who are paying attention. And what is this new technology that is exposing their hypocrisy? Why, it's AI, of course. If you're not aware, or if you've been hiding under a rock for the last couple of years, AI is the next big thing in technology. It's being integrated into everything. Well, guess what? AI requires huge amounts of power. AI requires lots of electricity. But we don't hear anybody attacking AI because it's not green or because it uses too much electricity. No. What do they say about AI? Oh, we must have AI, so it uses a lot of power, so let's reactivate all the nuclear power plants so we can generate more power for our AI, because AI needs a lot of electricity. So here we are with a technology that needs a... I'm going to try to keep it PG. I'm not going to swear, but it needs a lot of power. All right. So, but nobody's attacking AI for being not green, right? Or taxing AI because it uses too much power. No. Let's just reactivate all our nuclear power plants. So Google is eyeing electricity from nuclear power plants for its data center. Right? This is an article about that. I've got all my news articles linked down below. Here's another article about nuclear power's AI renaissance, right? Ooh, nuclear power. How great is nuclear power? Well, I don't know. It's not that great. Why don't we use nuclear power as much as we were back in the 70s? Well, new construction basically halted decades ago thanks to a 1979 partial meltdown at 3 Mile Island reactor, which coincidentally is next to the unit Constellation hopes to revive. So yeah, we almost killed millions of people with a horrible nuclear accident, and so we kind of pumped the brakes on nuclear power. But now that AI needs it, what the heck? Let's just go nuclear again, right? Because we need power, right? But nobody wants to tax AI for not being green enough, right? Let's just revive our nuclear industry so that we can power all our absolutely necessary AI, right? Because that's where the real money is for all the centralized powers that be, right? So little old Bitcoin needing electricity, has been being bashed for the last several years, and chastised. That narrative is still out there. You'll see lots of opinion pieces where they'll talk about Bitcoin being bad for the environment and not being green. So once that lie is repeated enough, people buy into it. All right. So, but look at their hypocrisy, right? All right, I'll get off my soapbox, right? Let's see. Let's look at our agenda. Once again, I want to thank everyone that's here tonight. I'm going to go through. I've got some stuff I want to talk about with you guys tonight. I think we'll do Trezor Expert. I want to talk about Trezor Expert. But let me get caught up on comments. I hate to ignore you guys in the comments. I've got Madic on Trezor. What are my options for converting to Pull? Are they bringing? Okay. So if you are using Madic on your Trezor, then you're most likely storing it as an ERC20 token. And if you want it to be in Pull format, there is a way that you can convert it. I don't know that it would show up. Well, yeah, it would still show up as an ERC20 token. It would just have the name. I think I did a video on this in the live stream, but I don't think I did a full-blown video on this. Maybe I did. Let's see. Paul converter. But, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find this or not right now. Let's see. Yeah, I think if we go to the Polygon wallet. Polygon POS, you're receiving Paul on Ethernet. Here it is, upgrade Madic to Paul. So if you go to the Paul portal, Polygon Technology, you can change the name of your ERC20 Madic to Paul if that floats your boat. Really my thing is just convert it to native Polygon. That's probably the most sane thing to do. If you still have Ethereum-based Polygon, it's time to, switch over to mainstream Polygon. And it's easy to do. All you have to do is drop it in Coinbase. If you drop your ERC20-based Paul or your ERC20-based Madic into Coinbase, it will automatically convert to Paul. I don't know that you'll be able to store it on your Trezor anymore. Right? But if you want to drop Madic on Coinbase, they'll receive it on the Ethereum network, and then it'll be a Joker's Wild, and it'll be Paul. But I don't think you can store native Paul on a Trezor. Well, you can, but you have to use MetaMask, right? So you would have to connect your... you can see I've got my ledger connected, but you would connect your Trezor device to MetaMask, and then in MetaMask you would be able to switch over to the what have I done? Oh, I haven't done anything in here. Oh, here, Polygon. Yeah. See, you can manage Polygon, native Polygon in MetaMask, right? And so you could, using your Trezor, you could manage this if you use MetaMask, but not in Trezor Suite. I know it's complicated. But anyway, someone asked about it. That's it. Yeah, but I would say drop it onto Coinbase, and then you have it in Paul format. Rex, I like the simplicity and compactness of a 12-word recovery phrase when setting up a new wallet. Is a 20-word seed phrase, sans Shamir, or 24 seed phrase really more secure than 12? No, not necessarily. That's a great question, Bobby. I appreciate you asking that. And let me just break that down for you real quick. Let's say you're worried that your 12-word seed phrase is not so, quote unquote, secure enough? Well, realistically, and this is an overview, right? This isn't even the actual terms, but let's say someone wants to brute force crack a 12-word seed phrase. It would, with our current technology and any future technology, that would take on the order of 1,000,000 years. Let's just put it that way. It's a lot more than that. But let's just say it takes 1,000,000 years to brute force crack a 12-word seed phrase. And so a 24-word seed phrase would, of course, be double that in security, so to speak. It would take 2,000,000 years to brute force crack a 24-word seed phrase. So really, I'm only going to be around this earth for about 80 to 100 years, with any luck. I don't really care that it might take someone 1,000,000 years. What is the difference between 1,000,000 years worth of security and 2,000,000 years worth of security? It really has no bearing whatsoever on my current situation. People just don't seem to grasp this concept. They always think, well, 24 is more than 12, so 24 is more secure than 12. But that is not the case. 12 is sufficiently secure to secure your seed phrase. And it is smaller, more compact, easier to manage, and easier to memorize if that's your thing, right? So there is no reason to limit yourself to only having a 24-word seed phrase when a 12-word is sufficient, right? That's out there. Now, the 20-word seed phrase for Trezor is a completely different animal. I really like their new protocol. The 20-word seed phrase uses a completely different word list than the normal BIP39. The BIP39 word list is 2,048 words. The Ledger Slip 39 or Satoshi Labs improvement protocol only has 1,048 words, but all of these words are very unique and distinct. A lot of the words on the traditional list that you might get on a 24-word seed phrase are slightly similar, can be a little ambiguous, and you could easily make a mistake writing them down just by being careless. So the new 20-word protocol it's not really a matter of if it's 12 or 20 or 24. The 20-word protocol is a better system overall. It has a better checksum. The words are more distinct, and you're much less likely to write it down incorrectly. And it's also expandable to a Shamir backup as well. So it's a better system, but we'll leave it at that. You might want to think about that. But it's only compatible with Trezor devices right now. Let's see, Dan. The wife would have sold all that Bitcoin when it hit 12,000. Haha. We are all Satoshi. Thank you, Apex. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then you win. I heard El Salvador uses fumes from volcanoes for energy. Yes. Sounds like Elizabeth Warren going after the Bitcoin miners. JDO, I'm in listening mode as I'm still having ongoing spine issues. I've been couch commando for months now. Oh, that's so nice of you to show up. I shot you an email earlier. You probably replied. I'm glad that you're recovering and that you're hanging out and you're still around. We wish you the best in your recovery from, sounds like, back surgery. We'll put you in our prayers. Good to have you back in the live stream, JDO. Wonderful to see you. So, Bobby, I hope that was helpful. Let's go over here. I want to talk. Let's go over to camera 5. Camera 1. Okay, let's go over here. Oops, sorry. Trezor has a great service called Trezor Expert, and they were kind enough to give me a session with one of their experts where we went through the unboxing of my Trezor Safe 5, and I'd like to talk to you guys a little bit about that experience and how wonderful it was. The first thing I'll say is that he was very organized, right? They have this session down to a T. It's $99. I think it goes on sale sometimes for 20% off, and you get it for $79. But it's a great deal even at full retail. Very organized. We connected online using Google Meet. So I could see him and he could see me, and we went through the unboxing and the setup of my Trezor Safe 5. So the first thing he did was confirm that everything was in my box. So we went through that. And one of the things that really impressed me about the Trezor Expert session was that he stayed on topic. I've been doing this channel for many years now, and I have a tendency to get off topic. When I'm recording my videos, I talk too much, I go into too much detail on my live stream and when I'm recording, and a lot of times I'll have to go back into my videos and chop out huge chunks of me just talking about related subjects that are really not relevant to the video that I'm doing. I'm guilty, I admit it, and I was very impressed that my Trezor Expert, and I can't remember his name, is a great guy. I'll have to check into that, but he was wonderful, and he even mentioned that he knew me, right? He's like, you're the first person that I've ever recognized doing a session like this, because he knows me as CryptoDad. So that I was very impressed with that. But he stayed on topic. He did a really good job explaining what the seed phrase was all about. And of course, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, the seed phrase is tantamount when you're setting up a device like this. The device, as it gets initialized, randomly generates a private key, and then it gives you a seed phrase. So not only did he explain to me the importance of the seed phrase, he had me go through the process of recording that seed phrase. Really cool. He had me turn off my camera during that time as I was writing down my seed phrase. And after we were done setting up the device, he took me into the seed phrase check. That really impressed me. Let's go over here real quick. And I'm going to launch Trezor Suite. If I can find it. I already had it. Trezor. Oh, there it is. Let me go ahead and connect this guy. And enter my PIN. Hopefully I haven't muted this mic yet. You'll notice that I entered that PIN very quickly because of this great touchscreen on the Trezor Safe 5. So after we had set up my Trezor Safe 5, the gentleman at Trezor Expert had me go into the settings. He explained all of this for me. He said to go into the device, and then we went here to the check backup. When you do the check backup, it goes through and has you enter each word to confirm that the seed phrase is correct. This is very important. I just met with a wonderful lady that was on the live stream a couple weeks ago. We set up a session. She had lost access to her hardware device and was having trouble with her seed phrase. She forgot to number it, and she had it in 3 columns. And we tried a couple of different configurations to no avail. So unfortunately, she was not able to recover her cryptocurrency because she had written her seed phrase down incorrectly when she first set up her wallet. She may have misread a word or something along those lines, right? writing down your seed phrase is very important, and you want to make sure you get it right. And I was very impressed that the Trezor experts took me through that scenario and had me do the check backup. Basically, you pull out your device, you connect it, and then you go through and verify that each of your words that you have written down is correct. It was really great. Let's see, what else? That's pretty much all I can think of right now. But if you want to get a Trezor device, and I highly recommend the Trezor Safe 5 if you're going to do that, because of its touchscreen functionality and the fact that it's a color touchscreen, that it's big, you can really read it very well. This helps not only when you're confirming transactions and using it for your day-to-day stuff, but it also makes it a breeze to go through the setup and recovery. Now, most people set their device up once and then go on to use it and never look back, which is great. But I, being a YouTuber, and this is my thing, have been through the recovery and the setup phases of many different hardware wallets. And I will tell you right now that interface is very important when it comes to using a hardware wallet. I cannot stress this enough. People are always asking stuff like, you know what, I see that there's a big price difference between Trezor Safe 5 and Trezor 3. What's the difference? Is the security the same? Is it just the interface? And I'm like, yeah, it's just the interface. But having used crypto wallet, hardware wallets for many years, trying to use these tiny little buttons and these tiny little screens is just very stressful when you're dealing with crypto, which is money. So do you really want to be forced into using some tiny little screen? And I'm not going to talk about the hardware wallet that client of mine was using, but it was not a Trezor and it was not a Ledger. And it was very difficult to do a restore on that tiny little screen. So very easy to make mistakes. So please, guys, interface is very important. So I highly recommend the Trezor Safe 5. So enough about that. Let's go on. Hello, CryptoDad. NordVPN is offering private dedicated IP address for a special price. What are your thoughts? Is it worthwhile? It's really up to you whether you want to use a VPN or not. I've done some videos on NordVPN back many years ago. It's a great company, very easy to use. For a beginner, I would recommend NordVPN, although, and let's just pull it up here. Very easy to set up, very good software, very simple to use for a beginner, and gives you all the benefits of a VPN, right? And will take all kinds of different payment methods. I should let you know, though, that Brave browser has a built-in VPN functionality that's absolutely free. But it may not have as many features as a full-blown NordVPN account. So if you want a VPN, then I would recommend Nord as if you are wanting a VPN. But you have to remember that you don't really want to use your VPN for everything, right? If you're looking for a local coffee shop and you've got your VPN on and you go to Google Maps, they're probably going to show you coffee shops in Copenhagen or Singapore or wherever your the VPN server that you're using, right? So a lot of the things that you do on your day-to-day basis, like logging into your Coinbase account or paying your utility bills, all those kind of things are going to be screwed up by VPNs. They're going to think that it's not you. They're going to make you jump through all kinds of hoops. When really, just like for your day-to-day stuff, don't use your VPN. So it's not a a solution to all your problems in life. It is a very specific tool to use in very specific circumstances. Also, another great one is Mmoad. For the privacy-oriented person, Mmoad is very good. It is based in Sweden, which has very good privacy laws. Very difficult for law enforcement to subpoena the records of Mmoad. Mmoad also will allow you to pay in Bitcoin or even Monero. So if you're into the whole privacy thing, Mmoad is a very good choice for VPN. Think about that, right? Hi, CryptoDad. Updated Yori Wallet and ended up with the 0 ADA. Can that lost ADA in Yori Wallet be retrieved through an existing Daedalus wallet? Lynn, what you really want to focus on is the seed phrase of your Cardano wallet. So I don't know what you did when you updated your Yori wallet. But it really depends. Where is this thing? I thought it was Yori Wallet. Is it just me? Here it is. Okay. So this wallet is a Cardano-based wallet. You can use it as in your browser, or you can use it as iOS or Android. Now, so I'm not sure if it's on your phone or what you did, but when you use this wallet, it's going to ask you to either connect a hardware device or save a mnemonic, right? So the mnemonic that you wrote down when you set up your Yori wallet is really what you need to be mostly concerned about if you have a balance you're trying to retrieve. So let's see if I can get it to open here. Okay, they pinned it for me. Okay, so when you first set this up, of course they're telling you that you're responsible for this. So if you create a new wallet, they're going to have you write down a seed phrase, right? So you need to find that seed phrase. If you want to restore an existing wallet, then you get out your seed phrase, right? And you enter it in here. Maybe when you reinstalled Yori, you set up a brand new wallet when you did your upgrade. I don't know what happened, right? You're just telling me you upgraded it and now you have zero balance. I suspect that you might have accidentally just created a brand new wallet. So what you want to do is a restore. Now, I don't know if you can back out of an existing wallet and do a restore. I don't have this thing set up right now. But worst case scenario, you can just delete the extension and start over. But instead of setting it up as new, restore with your seed phrase. If you connected your hardware wallet originally, then connect your hardware wallet, right? You can use a Ledger or Trezor. And if that's the case, then you should be able to access the balance that you were using before from your hardware wallet. Your hardware wallet does not forget, right? I wanted to talk a little bit about Ledger tonight, and I'm not sure where I want to do this rant. I think I'll do it over here. Okay. Yeah, I think over here. I'll move this again. So I did this video on SUI, SUI token, and I showed you people. Let me put my pin in here real quick. I showed how to download the SUI app. Is it the SUI app? Maybe I haven't put it back on here yet. But I showed everyone how to use your ledger to secure your private key with the SUI wallet. Let me show you the video here real quick. We talked about it earlier. So I installed the SUI browser. We configured the ledger to connect to SUI, and we connected our ledger. And so then we were able to manage our SUI token with using our ledger devices to store the private key. And then someone commented that, hey, stop promoting Ledger. They have closed source software. They will steal your private key. And, you know, I'm really just like so over that narrative, right? When Ledger introduced their Ledger Recover service, it sort of opened the floodgates to the fact that Ledger firmware was not completely open source. And everyone started claiming that Ledger, you know, is going to steal your private key because their wallet is not open source. For those of us who really know how hardware wallets work, the main part of this riddle is that there are really no open source hardware wallets out there. They claim to be open source, and a lot of the code that they employ is open source, as does Ledger. Ledger is like 95% open source. But the fact of the matter is that yes, we should don't trust, verify is the mantra of the crypto world. I get that, right? That's what crypto is all about, right? We don't have to trust anybody. We verify it cryptographically, mathematically. But a crypto hardware wallet is a completely different animal. A crypto hardware wallet is a security device. As a security device, its job is to store your private key and store it safely, and don't reveal it. It has to be generated safely, it has to be stored safely, and it has to be able to safely sign your transactions. That's really what it's all about. And in order to do that, they use secure element chips. And any hardware worth its salt uses a secure element chip. The Trezor Safe 5 uses a secure element chip. Even the Cold Card, which claims to be the most secure wallet in the world, uses a secure element chip. These chips are made by large companies that are in the business of security, and their security chips are IP, intellectual property, and they are closed source by design because that's what keeps them secure. So this whole narrative that Ledger is not open source and they'll steal your private key is just so over. Here's the reason why I use Ledger devices. Because they support the most cryptos. And they also support the most third-party wallets. Not to mention these newer devices that I have here, the Ledger Stacks and the Ledger Flex, are both very easy to use. They have state-of-the-art interfaces, which make them easy to use, easy to see. So it's very easy to set up, it's very easy to recover, and it's very easy to authorize transactions and see what's going on. So they support the most cryptos out there, and they support the most third-party wallets. I was talking about this SUI video that I did, and I had to explain that they said, oh, stop promoting Ledger. And I was like, don't you realize that this SUI wallet here, that the only hardware wallet it supports is Ledger, right? You can't, if you want to store SUI in this wallet, you either have to use it as a hot wallet, or you use it with a Ledger as your cold wallet, or nothing else, right? This wallet does not support Trezor. This wallet does not support any other hardware wallet on the market except Ledger. That is because Ledger has a great development environment, and they work very closely with developers to make it very easy for them to add support for Ledger devices. It's the #1 hardware wallet in the world. So all this Ledger bashing, I'm just so over it, right? You buy whatever hardware wallet you want. I like Trezor's also. There are a lot of cool hardware wallets out there. But, you know, Ledger, for me, and I've been using hardware wallets since 2017, it's head and shoulders above the rest. Functionality, usability, bit pricey, but, you know, you got to pay for, you know, if you want the best, you got to pay the price. So, you know, if you're on a budget, get a Ledger Nano S Plus. I don't care much for the interface, but the price is right and the security is there, right? If you want Trezor, great. Trezors are wonderful. If all you got is Bitcoin or Ethereum, you know, maybe Solana, Trezor's wonderful. But if you want to get into all the latest crypto and you want support for multiple cryptos, Ledger's the way to go. They're not perfect as a company. Believe me, I'm not crazy about Ledger Live and all of the, you know, bells and whistles they try to promote in their Ledger Live software. I don't think my Ledger Live should be a place where I buy and sell and swap crypto. I think it should just be a wallet, but that's just me, right? As a wallet, Ledger's my choice, right? Okay, I got some crickets out here, but that's okay. Let's see, was there anything else I wanted to touch on a little bit? Let's go back here. And then throw out any questions. Do you like the new Flex? Yes, I do. I like the new Flex. Just to give you, I did a video on the difference between the Flex Flex versus Stacks. So if you're wondering, you know, should I get a Flex or should I get a Stacks? Check out this video. My conclusion at the end of the video, my vote is for the Stacks, the more expensive one, but I give you all of the information about the difference between the two wallets. The Flex has an e-ink display, but it is smaller and it is flat. It doesn't wrap around the side. So it's basically pretty much a Stacks with just a little smaller screen. But it's a good wallet. And it's Ledger. It supports all the great cryptos that Ledger supports. Although I should also bring up that a lot of the developers out there still have not updated their software to support Flex and Stacks, but I'm sure that's coming. So you'll see some wallets, some third-party wallets that support the Ledger Nano X and the Ledger Nano S Plus, but not the Stacks, right? You'll go to download an app on the Stacks and you can't get it because it's not available on the Stacks yet. But that's just, you know, growing pains. Okay, we talked to Lynn. Oh, it's on my phone, the Yori Wallet. Okay. Yeah, so if it's on your phone, Lynn, maybe try to do a restore. Maybe if you delete it. If you have that seed phrase, God, I hope you do. Lynn. My Trezor Save 5 arrived today. Seed phrase check was fantastic. I really gave me confidence. I'd written it down correctly. Wonderful. That's wonderful to hear, Owen. I appreciate that. What was the deciding ability that made you pick the Stacks over the Flex? Good question, JDO. For me, it was the size of the screen. And I noticed this the most during the restore process. I think I mentioned that I was helping someone out and was doing a bunch of restores, like 10 or 20 different restores. We were looking for the correct seed phrase. And the screen size of the Flex was just a little too small for my eyes and my fat fingers. The Stacks has a sufficiently large screen so that it's easier for me as an old man with glasses to see what's going on the screen and tap the, oh, it was the keypad was what it was. Like the stacks and the flex have a keypad. I can show you that right now. Let's if we go into something, let's go into name, right? So notice this keypad here. This keypad on the stacks is big enough for me to see clearly and type. It's still a little bit small, but the one on the flex is just a little too small for me. Yeah, you probably saw my pin there, but that's okay. Bah! That was incorrect anyway. Let me try it again. Okay. So if we do the same thing, if we go to name, it's imperceptible. It's very subtle. In fact, it looks like they've actually made it slightly bigger. Maybe they heard me bitching, and the firmware update I could swear that the flex screen was slightly smaller. And maybe it is, but now it looks about the same. Maybe they've had a firmware update to make the keypad a little. But for me, the stacks was just easier to use. And as I said, I mean, security is number one, but interface is number two. And so I chose the stacks over that. And also the stacks, it's just a more full-featured wallet, right? It has like the screen wraps around the side and you can read stuff on the side. It's a more full-featured wallet. I hate to be, you know, the elite guy when it comes to crypto wallets, but I chose the stacks because just overall it has more features. It's a better wallet in my view. Right. Full-featured. Let's see, and there was some other stuff I wanted to touch on real quick. I don't know if I talked about this a week or two ago, but I had someone in the comments that was telling me I did a review of the Descent wallet, and they were complaining that it was made in China and that they don't trust China and that China spies on them and China will steal their private key and all that stuff. You know, I don't trust China. And I was kind of like, hey, you know, first of all, I don't know that there are any wallets made in the U.S., really. There might be a few small wallet companies, but the big wallet companies, Ledger is from France. Trezor is based in the Czech Republic. Engrave is based in Switzerland, although I believe they are assembled in Asia somewhere, maybe Taiwan. Keystone 3 Pro is based in Hong Kong, which is sort of China. But this whole idea of worrying about what country makes your hardware wallet and that makes it secure or insecure is really kind of a paranoid fantasy. The wallets, first of all, they're in business. So it's not going to be a very good business model to make a crypto hardware wallet that doesn't work, right? So if it's generating bad seed phrases or prefabbed seed phrases, or the wallet is getting mysteriously drained, people are going to know about this right away. It's sort of like if you manufacture bullets, and you're going to buy bullets from China, you're going to buy bullets from France, or you're going to buy bullets from wherever, and you go to the shooting range, it won't take you long to figure out which bullet is best, right? If it's a crappy bullet that doesn't work right, it doesn't shoot, or, you know, half of them are duds, you're not going to buy those bullets anymore, right? That's just one example. So These products are tested by third parties and they're tested by users. Believe me, if all of the wallets made in China were stealing private keys or were rigged somehow, it wouldn't take long for people to figure it out. So all of these paranoid people coming in and saying, oh, I don't want to buy a wallet that's made in China because China spies, it's really just paranoid fantasy, if you ask me. Also, I pointed out that if anybody is guilty of spying, it would be the West and the Five Eyes that track and trace almost everything we do. I'm not really worried so much about China spying on me as I am the powers that be and the Western governments and Google and Facebook and all of the American-based companies are really the ones that are in our business. But as far as crypto hardware wallets go, you can read reviews. They are tested by third parties. So this whole notion of I shouldn't buy wallet X because it's made in country Y is kind of a silly, right? And then also I dealt with a very nice gentleman that was having trouble with his Ledger Nano S. It was an older one. He told me he had already replaced his screen at one point, which you can do. That's like a DIY kit you can buy if your screen is getting dim. But then he was telling me that his button got stuck, in the case. It wouldn't come back up again. And so I was kind of like, well, I mean, you've taken it apart once, you could always disassemble it and reassemble it. But I mean, realistically, why rely on a tiny piece of plastic to manage your crypto when, you've got a seed phrase? Just get a new device. Stop being overly reliant on this hardware. People tend to think that the crypto is on the device. It's not really on the device. And even if you know that, you still tend to look at the device as the crypto. It's just, it's common sense. I totally get that. But, this Ledger Nano X that I have here is coming apart. I don't know what the issue is, but it won't like snap in to the holder anymore. So it's just kind of fallen apart. So I mean, just get a new one. Especially, if you're hodling 50 grand worth of crypto and you're hoping that that 50 grand will become 2 million in a couple of years. Why are you worried about, spending another 150 bucks on a brand new device to, manage your crypto? Joseph, good to have you here. Let's see. What are all the different reasons why you would have to use your 24-word seed phrase on a ledger? The main reason that you would need that 24-word seed phrase is to do a restore. So if you break, lose, or your device gets lost or stolen, you get a new device and do a restore. I just kind of showed you that on the wallet we were just doing. What was that? What was it here? Yeah. So restore existing wallet and use your 24 words. You would enter your 24 words to gain access to all that crypto. So, recovering your crypto is really the main purpose of the 24-word seed phrase. Goofy Dude, I received the deactivation notice from Binance last month. I was under the impression because I'm from the US, I was asked out, so I opened up customer support ticket. What are my chances of retrieval? If you have crypto on Binance and they're sending you that alert telling you that, hey, you still have some crypto in your account, they will, of course, allow you to withdraw it. They're not going to just close your account and keep your crypto. They want you to get your crypto out of there. For regulatory purposes, they will not allow you to swap that crypto anymore, but they will allow you to withdraw it. So depending on what's in there, you're just going to need to get a compatible wallet and make the withdrawal and go through the motions with their tech support. They'll guide you through the process. They'll give you access to your account. They'll help you reestablish access to your account. And after you have done that, they give you a certain amount of time to make your withdrawal. And then if you don't, then they'll close access again. So it's well worth your time and effort if you think you have some crypto on your Binance account. Go through it. Joseph, I'm confused. I transferred BTC from Coinbase to Trezor. One, all okay, but there is a message indicating the transaction paid 40% more due to inefficiencies associated with older wallets. Coinbase to Trezor. Now that's odd because if you transferred it from Bitcoin to Trezor, from Coinbase to Trezor, the current account that you're using in Coinbase it's Joker's Wild, right? It doesn't really matter. So I wouldn't think a wallet would come into it. It seems really weird that Coinbase would somehow penalize you for using an older style wallet. The Trezor one is pretty old. It might be a legacy Bitcoin address. So I don't know from your post there who penalized you. Was it Coinbase or was it Trezor that sent you this message that the transaction... Now, it says the transaction paid 40% more due to inefficiencies. I don't think that means you lost 40% of your Bitcoin. I think it just means that your blockchain fee was 40% higher due to the fact that you're using an old legacy address. That's my assumption since you're using a Trezor 1. I would highly suggest that you get a more... the Trezor 1 is obsolete, Joseph. I'm sorry to have to tell you that. They don't sell it anymore. It has open source architecture. It's not fully secure. It's vulnerable to tampering. But that is, of course, only if someone has physical control of your device. Don't worry about the remote stuff. As long as it's in your possession, you're fine. But it's an outdated, obsolete device that they don't sell anymore. I would highly recommend you getting a new Trezor. You can still get the Trezor T at a pretty decent price. You can get the Trezor Safe 3. I think they're selling that for $79 now. That's why someone had asked me about that. I would highly recommend the Trezor Safe 5. It's bigger, easier to use, and it's fully touchscreen. Whereas, as you can see, the Trezor Safe 3 is I guess they still are selling the Trezor Model 1. But if you've had that Trezor Model 1 for many years, you might still be using a legacy address, and that's why you're getting that blockchain message. I think it might even be possible to create a brand new Bitcoin address. If you hit the plus, you can create a new Bitcoin address. They won't allow me to do it because I haven't dropped any crypto in my existing wallet. But if you have some Bitcoin already in an existing Bitcoin wallet, you can add new wallets that are using a more modern interface, right? Or address scheme, right? I would stick with SegWit. It's the most recent. But as you can see, they've got Conjoin, Taproot, Legacy SegWit, and Legacy, which is the oldest one. So I wouldn't worry too much about that little, your blockchain fees are 40% higher because you're using an old style address. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal because blockchain fees can be cheap in low times of low activity, right? So if it's a $3 blockchain fee that you paid when you transferred, 40% of that is like $1 or whatever. I wouldn't worry so much about that. But if you would rather create a brand new address using SegWit, in your even in your existing Trezor suite using your Trezor 1, I believe you could do that. And then maybe just do that one last transfer that costs you 40% more in blockchain fees and get it in a new wallet address that uses SegWit, which has, faster, cheaper blockchain fees. So, yeah, it's not like, I don't think it's a deal breaker, Joseph. But shoot me an email if you want. We can talk more about that. Can I log into my Ledger Live with PIN code to see my seed phrase there? No, you cannot see your seed phrase on your device. You're not supposed to be able to see it. It's private. The only way, they do have a seed phrase check. So it's an app that you can use to verify your seed phrase, but it asks you to enter it. But if you're worried that, you're not sure where your seed phrase is, or you're not sure you have it written down right, do the recovery check. That's called recovery check. But if you can't find your seed phrase, then my advice is to transfer that crypto somewhere else, get a new wallet, and put the crypto in the new wallet, and make sure you write down your seed phrase and don't lose it. So I'm not sure why you're asking that question, but you cannot see your seed phrase on your device. Your device will not display your seed phrase to you. If it did, it wouldn't be a very secure device. Thanks, CryptoDad, for this seed phrase backup check on my Trezor Safe 3. I did it just for the first time. Glad it was successful. Peace of mind. Nice. I believe I have 777 BNB in there. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, get that BNB out. Yeah, you can. Unfortunately, you can't store BNB on Coinbase. You can sell it on Binance US. So, but I believe if you go into your Binance account, they might force you to drop it into a wallet. But you can do that if you want to, like I've got a BNB wallet in Ledger Live. Ledger Live supports BNB token. So you could withdraw your BNB token to your wallet and then drop it over on Binance US if you want to cash out. Although you can't cash out in Binance US, you can set up an account in the US, throw your BNB in there, and swap it for Bitcoin, right? Or Ethereum or whatever. And then you can withdraw it back to your wallet and store it and give it to your kids or whatever you want to do with it. Not worried about cost, just wondering. Yeah, I think that's what it was, Joseph. Okay, guys, so there were some other things I wanted to talk about. I didn't get to them. I didn't move much crypto. Goofy Dad, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Yeah, good luck getting that BNB withdrawn. I had the same issue also with Binance. I think like several months down the road after they blocked access, I logged in and found I had like $800 worth of Tether in my Binance account, and I was able to withdraw it, right? Just had to jump through a few hoops. So best of luck to you on that, Goofy Dude. Let's see where we at here. Stream is ending. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Ooh, that's not going to work good. Yeah, I tightened up this webcam earlier tonight. So anyway, thanks again. It's great to have JDO back. I wish you a speedy recovery. I was wondering where you were, and now I know. So it's good to have you here making an appearance. Thank you so much for being here, JDO. Thank you, Dan, for being here as well and moderating. I appreciate you as always. Thank you, Kenny, so much for the news stories. As you know, you are a very important resource for me. It's always wonderful to get your emails and all of the news stories that you recommend. Thank you, everyone that came in tonight and donated. Joseph, Goofy Dude, thank you guys so much for those donations. I really appreciate it. Thank you, everyone that asked questions. Thank you if you came and just watched. I always appreciate everyone that comes into the stream. Once again, and thank you guys for listening to my rants. I really appreciate it. We'll be here again next week, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions, and I'll do my best to get them answered. Hope to see you there. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click. That will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me.